Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry I've been gone for a couple of weeks, been some things going on. But I'm back here to review episode 6 of WandaVision. And of course, as always, these reviews are spoilers. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it first. And if you have seen the episode, be sure to leave comments below and let me know what you thought. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. This definitely built on from the last episode. Of course, the big reveal in the last episode would bring Pietro back, and it was not just Pietro, but it was Evan Peters' version of Quicksilver, Pietro. And now, of course, a lot of theories, fan theories have been online about, oh, it's the X-Men. This is their way of introducing X-Men to the MCU. And I was like, no, I don't think they would do that in just a show. I think that's that Disney would be leaving a lot of money on the table if they did such a big reveal in Disney Plus and then do it in a blockbuster movie. So I was thinking, no, I think this is her Pietro just with Evan Peters' face, and I think this episode really proved that. Now the beginning of the episode, they did a parody of Malcolm in the Middle. Now I guess people were thinking, well, what's their '90s sitcom? Well, technically the first episode aired in January of 2000, so technically the first season of Malcolm in the Middle was filmed in the '90s, so it still technically counts. It's the very end of the '90s. So you see that their two sons definitely have powers. In fact, one of the kids definitely is like a little Quicksilver. He runs around just like his uncle Pietro, and then the other son, I guess, has some more like telepathic powers. Well, maybe a little more similar to his mother, with his magic and stuff. And so it's a Halloween episode. They're all getting dressed up, and Pietro, of course, is being the zany uncle. But it's always fun uncle thing. And so they're all dressed up in their costumes, and they're very all nods to their comic book characters and their actual costume. Wanda's actually in her Scarlet Witch costume, and so they're gonna they plan to go out trick or treating, but of course Vision says no, I got other plans. And what we find out is that, of course, because now we reveal from the last episode, he no longer trusts Wanda. That he's kind of figuring out that something's fishy going on here in this town. Something's not right. So he goes out when he's out. And he goes out further into the town, further away from the town square. Now, of course, in the town square, they're having this big festival, Halloween festival, and everything seems great and stuff. But as Vision goes further out, it seems kind of weird that he sees these people just sitting there, not doing anything. They're just like they're frozen in time. And so what I guess we can kind of infer from this is the further away people are from Wanda, since Wanda's the one that's determining everything and determining roles for people. Like the further you get away, you're kind of like a background character in a movie or something that there's just no detail to you. And so she kind of has no use for these people that are on kind of like the outskirts of town, and so they're just kind of frozen in place. And in fact, he comes across Agnes there. Now, a lot of fan theories too that I think got kind of busted in this episode was a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Agnes, she's that Agatha Hargrave from the comics. Like she's this witch that's kind of this probably controlling things, probably controlling Wanda." And I think that kind of got debunked here because she was just sitting in her car. She looked like confused. She was like same thing. And these other people, she was slow motion. Now I don't know if she was trying to escape the hex or if she just she just happened to be driving too far away from Wanda and therefore became like like she lost her strings. Kind of if Wanda's the puppeteer in this town, then if you got too far away, you don't pull your strings and you just become like a useless puppet. And so Vision breaks her out of it, and she's the one who informs him that he's dead. And so she wonders, like, since he's dead, she's dead too. And so now Vision knows that, okay, what's wrong here? What's going on? And so then we have the part, and then they go back from there. Now, when they're in town, Wanda and Pietro are talking, whether, her sons go off to trick or treat, and they're using their powers and stuff. And she's talking to him, and then she talks to Pietro, and she's like quizzing him, like, hey, so remember when we were in the orphanage? And of course, he calls her on and it's like, hey, you're quizzing me, aren't you? And then it seems like he doesn't have all his memory. And now this is true because obviously it's the same thing with Vision. When she brought him back to life, he has no real memory of his life. Now that's why he was so pissed in the last episode. And so now it seems like Pietro has the same thing since he died and she brought him back to life. And this is where we've confirmed that he's her Pietro, because she looks away and she looks back at him, and she sees all the bullet holes in him where he got shot. And he even says that he's like, "Oh, I remember being shot, and then all of a sudden you called out to me, and that's why I'm here." And so it seems like he has like very much no scattered memories of what happened to him. So he is her Pietro, but she brought him back from the dead essentially. So he's not a mutant. I think that kind of debunked that fan theory. But so anyways, yeah. So she brought him back, and then so it's going on there, and you can tell he knows what's going on because he's saying like, "So, oh, that's really cool what you're doing here," which, and you can tell that he knows that she's controlling the whole place with her magic, even though she's trying to play it off. And she even says like, "Oh, I don't know how this started. I don't know how this began. We just kind of got here." So it's possible too that there's somebody else maybe still manipulating her, maybe to draw on her power from this town. So anyway, so they're doing that, and then back to where Vision is. Vision is probably had it, and so he's like, he wants to find the edge of this town. He's like, okay, I got to find out what's going on, what's outside of this town. So he goes there and he finds the barrier, and so he decides, okay, I'm going to go outside of this barrier, and so he does it, and it seems like as he's going out, it's like pulling him apart, and it's taking everything away from it. So, and that's my theory. That was my theory too. It's like, God, if he goes outside the barrier, he's going to be dead because she literally revived his corpse. So if he leaves her power, the area for power, then he's just going to go back to being a corpse. If he leaves it, and I think that's kind of what was happening. And then, but her son picked up on this with his mental telepathy that, oh my God, Dad's in distress, he's dying. So he tells his mom, and what does Mom do? What's Wanda do? She expands the hex. She expands the town. So and so that expands to where Sword has their camp set up, and so Darcy was there trying to talk to Vision. She got handcuffed to there. She couldn't leave, and so she got swallowed up by the hex. And I thought it was kind of a funny scene that when the hex overtook the Sword base, it turned into a circus tent, and then all the Sword agents turned into clowns. I thought that was pretty amusing. Now I'm curious to see if Darcy herself turns into like either like a ringleader or a circus clown. I don't think so. I wonder if they're going to do something more. So when she's in the hex, what role she's going to take? I think it'd be kind of funny if Kat Dennings, the actress, if she ends up kind of reprising her role from Two Broke Girls, and just like in a waitress outfit, kind of does that. I think that would be kind of a funny kind of Easter egg nod there if that's what happens. Or if she turns out to be like a ringleader of the circus, and that's cool too. She kind of looks like a kind of takes after Zatanna from DC. That'd be kind of neat if that's ends up there. But then the head FBI guy or head Sword agent, they were able to drive away and beat the hex from when it expanded. So obviously her powers are growing bigger, and she's able to now expand the area of the hex. So that's got some major serious implications. So it's like, I'm wondering what's gonna happen next episode if the government's gonna escalate their response. If now we're gonna have a full on, if just instead of just one agency here now, it's gonna be full on military. If they're gonna like try bombing the hex because they view it as such a big threat. If we have if we're gonna have like tanks, full military there. If that's gonna escalate the situation, what's gonna be her response to that? She's gonna be amping up her powers and becoming full Scarlet Witch, like becoming full villain, and that's going to lead into eventually Doctor Strange. At least that's my theory of what might be happening for the finale there. But overall, I really like this episode. It seems like every episode they kind of like they're escalating the tension, escalating the series of what's happening here, and you're further on like, okay, what are so they're like I said. So I saw the two fan theories were debunked in this about Quicksilver and about Agnes. I thought those two were kind of debunked here, but they're still, is Mephisto still out there? Is he the one, manipulating her, or is it just all her and she doesn't realize it? What's really going on, and then what's Pietro's ultimate role going to be in all this? Where things going to end up? Are they going to end up leaving? What I'm assuming, at least my theory is that in the finale is that Vision's going to be pissed off that he does not want to live a lie anymore, and he's going to succeed in escaping the hex, so he's going to die. And I think that's going to just drive Wanda over the edge, and then she's going to go crazy with her powers, and that's going to lead into her being a villain in Doctor Strange too. Like that's my theory. But we'll see how that works out. So, but anyways, that's again very good, well done episode. I think next episode is going to be their, have we seen in their Modern Family takeoff, because it'll be now in the 2010s. So I think so. Next episode would be Modern Family, and then the 2 episodes of that will just be just straight up non-sitcom, like dealing with what's going on. So, anyways, thanks again, guys, for dealing in. That was my review. And like I said, if you've seen it, give me comments what you thought of the episode. If you agree, disagree, that's great. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and always remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'll tell you guys later. Thank you.